Hello, my name is Zaid Berzikat, and today I'll be discussing the romanticization of the 1950s in America. This era is often remembered as a time of national unity, economic prosperity, and strong traditional values, but that image leaves out the experience of many Americans, especially women, communities of color, and the working class, who are excluded from the so-called American dream. This leads into my research question. How does the romanticization of the mid-20th century American life distort public understanding of history and hinders progress toward social equality? I will cover an introduction to the topic, explore realities surrounding this era, and offer solutions to address these distortions. Many people look back at the 1950s as a simpler, better time with flourishing suburbs and idealized family life. This nostalgic view is often portrayed in movies, ads, and political propaganda, creating an image of prosperity and unity. However, this vision of the past is incomplete as it ignores the systemic racial and gender inequalities that were deeply embedded in society. As Johan Norberg points out, nostalgia often distorts memory, highlighting idealized moments while overlooking the struggles of marginalized groups. Seth Lawless's photographs, My Second Anchor Source, of abandoned suburban homes starkly contrast this idealized image, showing the neglected reality behind the surface. When this romanticized version of the 1950s is invoked today, it not only misinterprets history, but also fuels resistance to political and social practice. Historian Johan Norberg says that nostalgia is comforting for those who had it good, but ignores many who were left out. When people hold tightly to the idealized past, they risk making decisions based on myth rather than reality. While some people thrive, many were excluded. Women, people of color, and low-income groups often face fewer opportunities and freedoms. The struggles were ignored, leaving an incomplete story of the time. These images highlight the stark contrast between idealized mainstream vision of 1950s America and the reality of ongoing civil rights struggles faced by Black communities during the same time period. After World War I, women faced pressure to focus on home life despite their important contributions during the war. The image of the obedient wife and mother became the standard, and stepping outside the role was frowned upon. Today, when people talk about traditional family values, they often overlook how those values restricted women's rights. This view of the past can downplay the fight for gender equality and make it easier to dismiss policies that support women now. This quote by Eric Kaufman highlights that ignoring racism makes it easy to deny injustices both past and present. The same nostalgia also hides racial injustices from the past. Throughout the 1950s, Black Americans faced segregation, unfair housing, poor education, and systemic violence. Some see this period as peaceful, but it was also the height of civil rights movements. Saying that things were better back then can distort history and make people resist racial justice efforts today. My solution for this problem is to challenge myths about mid-20th century American life. We need honest and inclusive storytelling. Schools should teach history that includes both successes and struggles, and media should reflect a fuller picture of the issues. Platforms like museums and documentaries can share overlooked stories. The positive implications include a more accurate understanding of history, fostering empathy and critical thinking. This could inspire a more informed public and lead to social progress. However, many may resist these changes, feeling they undermine national pride or disrupt unity. Additionally, implementing this solution could face logistical and financial challenges. Despite this, the benefit changing how we view the past isn't easy. Something critically looking at history divides society and undermines national pride. And because nostalgia is personal, many resist letting go of familiar narratives. But avoiding uncomfortable truths does not solve problems, because teaching accurate history is not about tearing down the past, it is about understanding where current issues begin, so society can adjust them honestly. If society continues to, this is my conclusion, if society continues to build the present on a distorted view of the past, it is bound to repeat its mistakes. To truly create a fair and inclusive future, you must confront history in its entirety, acknowledging both successes and its failures.
Thank you. Now for the oral defense questions. What evidence did you gather that you didn't use? Why didn't you use it?
So I gathered a lot of evidence on like the political aspect of my issue, but I couldn't really use it because I was trying to focus more on like social movement. The political evidence that I gathered more like it was kind of like it kind of correlated to like economic factors, and I didn't want my my presentation to become logistical, so I tried to keep it how it is.
Okay, thank you. What might be the real world implications or consequences of your findings? What are the implications to your community?
Implications to my community. Could you repeat the question?
Yes. What might be the real world implications or consequences of your findings? What are the implications to your community?
So, romanticizing the 1950s, it affects like social policies today. It creates like resistance to like progress, racial and gender progress. So like yeah, it creates like an impediment.
And what are the implications to your community?
Implications to my community. Implications to my community. My solution is to like so like it kind of helps like benefit like communities getting like adding the
To your community that you are a part of, how does your research reflect your community?
I wouldn't say like it reflects me directly, but the research that I like, the research that like the evidence that I researched, it does like generally affect most communities. It doesn't